What's up YouTube? Brian here with Team D-Boyz Infinity, and today I'm coming at you with my SPYRAL deck profile. I piloted this at locals. I don't have the exact date. It was not this past weekend when y'all will probably see this, like the 22nd through the 25th, I think is when I'll get this up, but I'm not sure. I've been very busy with school, so I'm trying to get caught up with a lot of my schoolwork. So, because it's been rough. School kicks you in the butt sometimes. But, yeah, so it's been a minute since I've actually played this deck in terms of when you'll see it online. So, it was whatever weekend was before that, but I can't remember the exact date. But, yeah, anyway, I decided to play SPYRAL. So, this is a deck I've been playing for a while now. I've had the deck, but I didn't play it until Sleeper came out, because that was when the deck kind of received like a clear-cut win condition. Like, this is a card you're aiming to summon turn one. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really actually like play the deck until Maximum Crisis. I've had a lot of fun since then, and I'm excited about Double Helix coming out. But SPYRAL's already naturally synergized with the Link mechanic anyway, so I decided I wanted to pick back up my Sleeper Turbo build, except for this time update it for the with the new rules and add Link monsters to the extra deck, because the Sleeper Turbo deck doesn't really need its extra deck, but you only really need like the one zone for the Theseus, Coral, Ancient Fairy, and then Sleeper's and main deck boss monsters, so you don't really rely on the extra deck like that. But one of the combos, you either need you need a level 5 tuner and resort. So one of the combos, obviously, if you don't have instant fusion, is with Gofu. And since Gofu is still at 3 and the new ban list did not change that, I think that was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to pick back up Sleeper Turbo, was because Gofu, not only does it help contribute to your sleeper combo, but it also, the tokens can be used for link summons, which is really neat too. Or if you open it with instant fusion, you could make the Decode Talker first, and yada yada yada. So the deck already has some synergy with the link mechanic, and that's apparent because obviously they're going to get a link monster themselves. And also, because of Gofu being integral to the sleeper combo, as well as being such a good link card, I saw some synergy there, so I wanted to try out SPYRALs with link monsters before Helix. The deck is fairly decent. I don't remember exactly what I placed at locals. It was like 8 or 9, somewhere like towards the middle of the pack, upper middle of the pack, and I don't exactly remember, but I'm kind of rambling at this point, so I'll go ahead and hop into the video. But the deck overall did fairly good at my locals, but it could definitely use some improvement. I don't know if I'm going to change too much of this version, though, or even play this version again. Considering Helix is around the corner, I might just jump straight on there. But to hop into the profile, I played Double Sleeper. This is your boss monster. If this gets outed, you're in trouble, and that's why I play the second one. Because when Helix comes out, I don't know how carefully a lot of people read the text of these cards, because there have been some people who are like avid SPYRAL players who are very good with the deck who don't even realize some of these cards have like second and third effects. But if you read Helix carefully, he can add back cards from the graveyard. So if your one sleeper gets outed by like a kaiju, you can put him back in your hand from the grave and then summon him again. So you only need one when Helix comes out, but I felt like having two, that way if the first one did get outed, I had a backup. And then there's also some certain combos in this deck that can end with 2 sleepers turn 1, which is kind of neat too, and I'll get into that when I get to the monster that makes that possible. But next up is 3 Quick Fix, obviously staple, 3 Super Agent, again staple for any SPYRAL deck. And then the new one is 3 Drone. I played 1 in my last version of Sleeper Turbo, but again, because we have links now, and because I'm decided to max on Machine Dupe, I wanted an extra dupe target if I draw into multiples and I already duped the Quick Fix. And then also that's kind of cool because it allows you to go into link plays with multiples of this card as well. So that's kind of neat. And then I play 2 SPYRAL Gear Last Resorts, to protect Sleeper or Super Agent, or even Quick Fix. I've done that before. I got a Quick Fix really boosted up off of Drone's attack boosting effect, and then just stuck a Resort on it and swung with it. And so that was kind of funny. And then the last Spiral monster I play is the one Spiral Master Plan. This is the card that makes the double Sleeper combos possible. I didn't resolve this card often because it's still difficult to summon, and that's why I only played one, because I didn't want it to brick my hands too much. But if I saw it, I could find some way to pitch it off of Quick Fix and bring it back, or use Assault from the graveyard. But I felt like it was worth playing the one, even though it's awkward and bricky and hard to summon. If you could get it on the field and resolve it. Like, I won every time I resolved this card. I think I resolved it like 2 or 3 times, and I won every game I resolved it. So it's insane, because its effect is just nuts, and it works so well with the link mechanic that even though it doesn't contribute to the overall general strategy of Sleeper Turbo that the rest of the deck's trying to do, I figured to afford one brick card that if I got it off, I won the game, was worth it. But you don't have to play it in a Sleeper Turbo version. But definitely when the Helix comes out, we're going to want to play this card. So I went ahead and tucked it in. And then the last monster is Triple Gofu and the one Maxi. Maxi is the only hand trap I felt like maining at the time. This was a pre-ban list tournament, so Zoo was still at full power when I played this. So Maxi was really the only thing I felt was worth maining. Under the spells, there's a lot of those. Combo heavy deck. 3 Resort, 3 Terraforming, 3 Big Red. I feel like this goes without saying. Resort and Terraforming get any of your monsters, and then Big Red is just one of the better extenders. It's searchable in this deck as well. And then triple Instant Fusion, because you want to open the Sleeper combo as much as possible. You're playing 3 Resort, 3 Terraforming, so that's 6 chances to open Resort, and then 3 Gofu, 3 Instant Fusion, so that's 6 chances to open the other. So that's about as consistent as you can get it. So the deck kind of reminds me of ABC. It wants to go first and set up a combo, and it can sometimes brick, but when it doesn't, it opens really well. So, but definitely, yeah, you want to maximize on these type of cards so you can get Sleeper onto the board. And then the last 3 is 3 Machine Dupe. I played 1 last time I played this build, and I wanted to bump it up to 2 at that point in time, but I figured at this point, because links exist, why not play 3 and go YOLO, because those extra monsters can serve a purpose besides, because sometimes you can't find, you may have to make like rank 1s or something, whereas you can make certain link monsters now, so that's kind of cool. Onto the 2-ofs. Only one 2-of, 2 Twin Twister. I think it's a better back row removal for this deck at least, because the discard outlet is nice to set up the grave. And for the 1-ofs, 1 for 1, obviously. 1 Foolish Goods. If I play this version of the deck again with the Master Plan in the main deck, I might want to bump this up to 2. That way I can see it more consistently to actually get the Master Plan out of my hand with Assault. In this version of the deck anyway, and when Helix comes out, I'm definitely playing 2, maybe 3, so we'll see. But a 1-of for now was fine. 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Soul Charge, 1 Rhoda, and the last spell is Assault to get your spirals out of hand. And then the traps were fairly simple. 2 Utility Wire, or 1 Utility Wire and 1 Rescue. I wouldn't really change up the main deck too much right now. The only things I might change is play more like trap cards like Solemn. I feel like trap cards are actually pretty good right now because the format's kind of slow now that there's a power vacuum with Zoo and Draco and Dinos leaving our format. So I would definitely consider playing the Solemns because the format's not as fast, but after Helix, the format's going to speed up again. So I'll have to play that. So for the extra deck, for the Link monsters, I played 1 Decode Talker, 1 Mrs. Radiant, 1 Proxy Dragon, and 2 Link Spiders for the Gofu combo. I tended not to go into the Proxy Dragon with the tokens, instead made the Link Spiders to go into Mrs. Radiant, because, or even up to Decode Talker, because I liked having to make Proxy later to give me more arrows, for like a different variety of arrows to open up more extra deck slots. And then for the synchros, I played Ancient Fairy and Coral. One last comment I forgot about the links was There are some really crazy combos if you open Soul Charge in this deck, playing Firewall Dragon, but I didn't, because you had to open Soul Charge, or you had to open like 4 very specific, not searchable cards to do the type of combos. Like, you can set up fields in this deck that the post-Helix Spirals can set up with Firewall Dragon, but the problem was they weren't consistent enough openings for me to reserve extra deck slots for Firewall, so I didn't play it in this build. But you could get away with it, or at least maybe one, but I didn't see the need to main it because those extensive, crazy combos, even though they're auto-win, they just weren't consistent enough for me to waste extra deck slots on Firewall Dragons when I could play more other cards that won't come up as often but have more versatility, like some of the rank 4s I'll get to later. Theseus and Restrict. And yeah, because without Norden, rank 4s are definitely harder to make, but I still played the Utopia package, Tornado, and Dweller. And I wanted the option of having these cards, because they're about as likely to come up as the multiple Firewalls, but they each do something unique, so I liked having the versatility. And then the last rank ones is Dullahan and Princess Sprite. Princess Sprite is really good to get draws, and then Dullahan can help you keep your quick fixes. You can link with it, but then also its attack having effect is pretty decent as well. So that wraps it up for the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if you guys are excited or not about Helix. I am, but let me know that also down below. If you have any questions or comments, suggestions about the deck, leave them in the comments. And like the video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And thank you for watching.